What's going on, guys? This is Frank Hatzis, and you're in Rope Dart School. All right, so this question has been brought up many times, and that question is, what are the similarities and differences between a rope dart and a meteor hammer? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm of the opinion that the similarities are far greater than the differences between the two. As many of you know, this is a rope dart, or one kind of rope dart, and this is one kind of meteor hammer. Now, a rope dart and a meteor hammer are both weights at the end of a long cord, and in the traditional sense, used as a fighting implement, something to either defend yourself with or to attack somebody. Both a rope dart and a meteor hammer can vary in their weight and size and even the way they look. Technique names tend to be different, but when it comes to the rope dart and meteor hammer, that's what's to be expected. However, when you look at the actual techniques themselves, they're all the same. I tend to think the meteor hammer is older than the rope dart for quite a few reasons. One of those being that when you read some of the texts and things from way back hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it is the meteor hammer that is mentioned way more often than a rope dart is. When you read the folklore, which I know is not source material, stories like Three Kingdoms or The Water Margin, they talk about meteor hammers, not rope darts. Now, another reason I believe that the meteor hammer predates the rope dart is because a rock predates a meteor hammer, and rocks tend to be round or bulbous shaped. So it would make sense that if a person were to make a very primitive meteor hammer rope dart, they would find a rock, tie a rope to it or some kind of a cord, and be swinging it around. Why not take that same idea and make a metal version of it, just say? So that's where I think the meteor hammer would come in right after, say, a rock. And then maybe at some point, somebody a long time ago just had a knife or a dagger or a throwing dart and came to the very logical conclusion that, well, this would actually be an effective weapon as well. It could be said that one difference between the rope dart and the meteor hammer is that a rope dart is more of a stabby type of attack when you do something like an elbow shot. A straight elbow shot, sure, it does have that dagger, knife, dart, what have you, something that can pierce your body potentially coming at you. So with that in mind, some folks think that a rope dart is more for a direct attack, and a meteor hammer, because it's more of a bludgeoning style weapon, is probably better suited for some kind of a horizontal attack. I trained with a traditional live rope dart when I first started, and I have smacked myself many times in the feet, the ankles, the shins. A smack, not a straight shot like a dart, but a smack with my rope dart. And let me tell you, it hurts. It hurts a lot. So to say that a rope dart would be different from a meteor hammer because of the line of attack seems a little short-sighted to me. Also, when it comes to a meteor hammer, could you imagine getting hit with a straight shot from this guy? Oh my goodness. No. Oh my God, no. So a meteor hammer with a straight shot is just as effective as a rope dart is with a straight shot, and a rope dart with a horizontal swing seems to hurt just as much as a meteor hammer would. Maybe a meteor hammer a little bit more. I don't know. I don't want to get hit by either of them, actually. I do get the stabby kind of hand-to-hand tactical things that you can do with a rope dart. But even with a meteor hammer, just up close and hitting somebody with this thing? Are you kidding? This would hurt. When it comes to traditional wushu, talu, rope dart, meteor hammer routines, it's difficult to say that one style or one form or one routine is for meteor hammer and the other one is for rope dart. Personally, in my own rope dart tournament competition journey, if you could call it that, I started with a rope dart, and for some years I did transition over to a meteor hammer. I did that because traveling with a meteor hammer just it was a lot easier to do than traveling with a rope dart. When you're getting on a plane with a metal ball, it's not as suspicious. So I did start competing with a Meteor hammer for a little while. My point being that when I transitioned from rope dart to Meteor hammer, my routine didn't change at all. And then years later, when I transitioned again in competition from a Meteor hammer to a rope dart, again, my form didn't change. I know they look different, but functionally, where is the difference? Okay, sure, maybe that tactical aspect of a rope dart, the ability to stab, like for a self-defense situation. But again, I think hitting somebody in close proximity with a Meteor hammer would absolutely hurt and potentially stop the attacker, hopefully. Similarities, they both feature different styles of heads. They both have a flag, they both have rings, they both are on cords. You can attack in either a horizontal or a direct method with both a Meteor hammer and a rope dart. They're both good for infighting. If you're a competitor, you can use a Meteor hammer head and just change the head and keep your same routine and nobody would ever know. When it comes to traditional wushu specific Taolu routines, it could just be that the person or coach or whomever that wrote the rope dart form was themselves a rope dartist, and the person who wrote the quote Meteor hammer form was just a Meteor hammer stylist. So every dart form I ever made was a rope dart form for me, and when I taught my students the rope dart, I gave them rope dart forms. Do you see how that works? And it's really just almost like a misnomer. It just was what I did, but I could have easily started with the Meteor hammer and taught my students the Meteor hammer. Same exact forms. It would just be a Meteor hammer form. Based on all of this, I do feel that the similarities far outweigh the differences between the rope dart and the Meteor hammer. I hope you found this video educational and you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace, love, DartLife.